We've been here doing this for 14 years.
The last 5 felt like 20.
The king of cars who walked away from millions. In 2020, when Richard Rawlings shocked the automotive world by ending Fast and Loud after 8 wildly successful seasons, fans were left wondering what could make someone abandon a hit TV show at its peak. The answer wasn't what anyone expected, and what he's built since might be even more impressive. Born in Fort Worth, Texas in 1969, Richard Rawlings caught the car bug early, attending auto shows with his father and buying his first car at just 14 years old. But his path to fame wasn't straight. After graduating from Eastern Hills High School, he worked various jobs including law enforcement and firefighting, learning the resilience that would define his later success. In 1999, he started Lincoln Press, a printing and advertising company, which became the financial foundation for his real dream. Gas Monkey Garage launched in Dallas in 2002, starting as a modest custom shop specializing in classic and hot rod automobiles for customers worldwide. What separated Rawlings from other garage owners was his natural charisma and eye for forgotten classics. He had an uncanny ability to spot potential in rust buckets that others would pass by, combined with a gift for making deals that seemed impossible. Discovery Channel scouts noticed this magnetic personality and took a gamble on the charismatic Texan. Fast and Loud premiered on June 6, 2012, and became an instant phenomenon. At its peak, the show was pulling in over 3 million viewers per episode, making it one of Discovery Channel's most watched automotive programs. Rawlings was earning between $50,000 per episode, but more importantly, he was becoming a household name in American car culture. The show's success wasn't accidental. Rawlings had perfected a formula that was simple but electric. He would hunt down forgotten classics in barns, backyards, and junkyards across America, often negotiating deals on the spot with his trademark enthusiasm and business savvy. These weren't just random purchases. Rawlings had developed an expert eye for cars with restoration potential and market value. Back at Gas Monkey Garage, his team, led by master fabricator Aaron Kaufman, would transform these rust buckets into 6-figure auction winners. The magic happened in the combination of tight deadlines, financial pressure, and Rawlings' larger-than-life personality pushing everyone to their limits. Viewers loved watching the controlled chaos of builds racing against time, with Rawlings juggling phone calls, making executive decisions, and keeping the energy high. The show spawned spin-offs, merchandise deals, and elevated the entire Gas Monkey brand to new heights. Rawlings opened Gas Monkey Barn and Grill locations, launched Gas Monkey live music venue, and became the face of automotive culture for a generation. His catchphrases and confident swagger made him instantly recognizable, while his business acumen proved he was more than just a TV personality. But behind the cameras, a different story was brewing that would eventually change everything. When Rawlings appeared on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast in December 2020, he finally revealed the shocking truth about why Fast and Loud ended. It wasn't about ratings, money, or creative differences in the traditional sense. It was about freedom. Discovery Channel had locked him into a contract with a clause that would fine him $25,000 for every negative comment he made about the network, essentially muzzling one of television's most outspoken personalities. Imagine being someone who built their entire brand on authenticity and straight talk, only to be told you can't speak your mind without facing massive financial penalties. For Rawlings, who had always prided himself on honest communication with fans and colleagues, this restriction felt like wearing a straitjacket. He described feeling stuck in a rut and completely frustrated by the limitations placed on his natural personality. The situation became even more restrictive when Rawlings wanted to pursue new projects. His exclusive contract with Discovery prevented him from working with other studios or networks, blocking his plans to launch an automotive podcast and explore other creative ventures. Every opportunity outside Discovery's umbrella meant potential legal complications and financial penalties. The breaking point came when Rawlings realized that the episodic television format itself was limiting what Gas Monkey Garage could accomplish. Complex, time-consuming builds that might take months to complete properly were being rushed to fit episode deadlines, compromising the quality of work that had built his reputation. Making the decision to leave Fast and Loud wasn't easy. The show was at its peak popularity, generating millions in revenue and keeping Rawlings in the spotlight as one of automotive television's biggest stars. Walking away meant abandoning guaranteed income, massive exposure, and the security of network backing. But for someone who had built his career on taking calculated risks, staying felt like the bigger gamble. Rawlings had watched other television personalities become trapped in contracts that limited their growth and creativity. He didn't want to become a prisoner of his own success, forced to repeat the same formula indefinitely while missing opportunities to innovate and expand. The automotive world was changing, with social media and digital platforms offering new ways to connect with audiences, and traditional television was beginning to feel restrictive. In 2020, as his contract with Discovery neared its end, Rawlings made the bold decision not to renew. He announced that Fast and Loud would conclude after 16 seasons and over 300 episodes, shocking fans who expected the gravy train to continue indefinitely. Industry insiders questioned whether he was making a career-ending mistake, leaving the security of network television for the uncertain world of independent content creation. But Rawlings had a plan that went far beyond what anyone could see at the time. After Fast and Loud wrapped in 2020, Rawlings didn't disappear or retire. He evolved into something bigger. Free from Discovery's restrictions, he immediately pivoted to YouTube and social media platforms where he could build cars on his own timeline without network interference or artificial deadlines. The Gas Monkey Garage YouTube channel exploded with content, now boasting over 600 videos and continuing to upload new material regularly. This wasn't just a consolation prize, it was a strategic masterpiece. YouTube offered something television never could: direct connection with audiences, complete creative control, and revenue streams that didn't require network approval. Rawlings could showcase builds that took months to complete properly, document the real process of restoration without editing for drama, and engage with fans in real time through comments and live streams. More importantly, he could finally pursue the extreme and unique projects that had been calling to him. His latest focus shifted to ambitious builds like a 6x6 Humvee, a French-made recreational tank, and other military-grade vehicles that would never have fit television's commercial-friendly format. These weren't just cars, they were engineering challenges that pushed his team's skills to new limits. To fund these ambitious new projects, Rawlings strategically put several Gas Monkey vehicles up for auction through partnerships with platforms like Bring a Trailer, planning to reinvest the proceeds into more exotic cars like Lamborghinis and Ferraris. The risk was higher than television work, but the creative payoff promised to be extraordinary. While Rawlings was busy building his post-television empire, the internet had other plans. Throughout 2024 and 2025, fake YouTube videos and social media posts began spreading completely fabricated stories about him being sentenced to prison for various fictional scandals. These clickbait videos, with titles like "Richard Rawlings sentenced to prison, goodbye forever," generated millions of views by exploiting fans' concerns about their automotive hero. The reality couldn't have been more different. Far from facing any legal troubles, Rawlings was actively expanding his business empire and maintaining his reputation as one of the automotive industry's most respected entrepreneurs. His team regularly debunked these false narratives on social media, but the persistent rumors showed how his fame made him a target for profit-driven misinformation. What made these fake stories particularly ironic was that the real Richard Rawlings story was far more interesting than any fictional drama. While clickbait creators invented prison sentences and financial scandals, the actual Rawlings was quietly building something unprecedented in automotive entertainment, a multimedia empire spanning restaurants, retail, events, and digital content that operated entirely on his terms. His success in fighting these false narratives demonstrated the power of authentic audience relationships built over years of genuine interaction. Fans who had followed his journey knew the difference between sensationalized fiction and the real story of continuous growth and innovation. In May 2025, Rawlings achieved something many thought impossible. He brought the Gas Monkey brand back to Texas in spectacular fashion. Gas Monkey Ice House opened at Grandscape in the Colony, a massive development backed by Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway. This wasn't just another restaurant opening, it was a statement that the Gas Monkey empire was expanding faster and stronger than ever before. The new location featured 28 beers on tap, Texas-themed menu items like barbacoa grilled cheese, and plans for regular pop-up car shows. More importantly, Rawlings announced he would film YouTube segments from the restaurant, creating a hub where digital content and physical experiences merged seamlessly. The venue represented everything he'd learned about building brands that connected with audiences on multiple levels. But Texas was just the beginning. Gas Monkey Sturgis, established in 2024, had already become known as the premier destination for car enthusiasts visiting South Dakota's Black Hills. Located right on Main Street in the heart of Sturgis, the restaurant offered the full Gas Monkey experience year-round, not just during the famous motorcycle rally. In 2025, Rawlings expanded the Sturgis location with a dedicated Gas Monkey garage retail store and outdoor bar, creating a complete automotive lifestyle destination. The strategic location allowed him to tap into the massive tourism market while building authentic connections with the motorcycle and car communities that made Sturgis famous. Rawlings understood that modern success required more than just selling products. It meant creating experiences and building communities. In July 2025, he partnered with Trans Am Takeover to host the first annual Trans Am celebration in Sturgis, South Dakota. This wasn't just another car show, it was a multi-day experience that brought together hundreds of classic Pontiac Firebird Trans Ams and thousands of enthusiasts from across the country. The event featured live music, entertainment, scenic cruises through the Black Hills, and a special screening of Smokey and the Bandit with tribute actors portraying the movie's iconic characters. Rawlings personally appeared throughout the weekend, meeting fans, judging vehicles, and participating in the celebration of American automotive culture. The event was free to attend, demonstrating his commitment to accessibility and community building over pure profit. This community-focused approach extended to his ongoing travels across America. In 2025, Rawlings and his crew actively visited small towns like Blandonsville, Illinois, creating impromptu car shows and hunting for classic vehicles for upcoming projects. These grassroots interactions maintain the authentic connection with regular car enthusiasts that had always been central to his appeal. The strategy proved brilliant for both brand building and content creation. Each community visit generated multiple YouTube videos, social media content, and genuine relationships that strengthened the Gas Monkey brand's connection to American car culture beyond what any television show could achieve. As of 2025, Rawlings' business empire generated an estimated $25 million net worth through diversified revenue streams that proved the wisdom of his television exit. His social media presence alone was worth approximately $500,000 annually through sponsored content, while the Gas Monkey Garage YouTube channel continued documenting extreme builds that attracted millions of views. The podcast Monkey Trap with Richard Rawlings offered fans unprecedented access to his unfiltered thoughts on everything from automotive projects to personal relationships to business philosophy. Unlike his television appearances, which were edited and controlled by network executives, the podcast revealed the authentic Richard Rawlings without corporate filters or time constraints. Current garage projects included collaborations with high-end automotive brands and custom builds for celebrity clients that commanded six-figure price tags. The team was working on several military-themed vehicles, exotic car modifications, and experimental builds that pushed the boundaries of automotive engineering. Without television deadlines forcing rushed completion, each project could be executed to Rawlings' exact standards. His licensing deals expanded beyond energy drinks to include automotive tools, garage equipment, and lifestyle products that generated steady passive income. The Gas Monkey brand had become synonymous with quality and authenticity in ways that transcended any single television show or business venture. Behind the business empire and public persona, Rawlings found personal stability that had eluded him in earlier years. His marriage to Katerina Deason in 2020 marked a turning point, providing the personal foundation that supported his professional risk-taking. Unlike his previous relationships, which had ended in divorce during the pressures of building his career, this partnership thrived as his business success stabilized. At 56 years old in 2025, Rawlings demonstrated that age hadn't slowed his entrepreneurial energy or hands-on approach to business. Visitors to Gas Monkey Garage consistently reported seeing him personally involved in builds, joking with his team, and maintaining the authentic leadership style that had made him famous. Success hadn't isolated him from the daily operations that remained his passion. His relationship with former Fast and Loud crew members remained strong, with many appearing in his YouTube content and maintaining professional relationships that extended beyond their television days. This continuity provided stability for both his business operations and content creation, allowing fans to follow familiar personalities while enjoying new creative freedom. The personal stability also allowed Rawlings to take bigger business risks, knowing he had a strong support system that could weather temporary setbacks or market fluctuations. This confidence showed in his willingness to invest heavily in new restaurant locations and experimental automotive projects. Looking ahead, Rawlings' expansion plans demonstrated ambitions that dwarfed his television-era success. He confirmed active negotiations to open Gas Monkey restaurants in Dallas, Waco, and Galveston, with additional locations planned across Texas and neighboring states. Each restaurant would incorporate automotive themes while serving as content creation hubs for his digital media empire. The integration of physical locations with digital content represented a revolutionary approach to automotive entertainment. Rather than choosing between traditional media and online platforms, Rawlings was building an ecosystem where restaurants, retail stores, YouTube channels, podcasts, and live events all supported and amplified each other. His automotive projects were becoming increasingly ambitious, with plans to work on exotic supercars, vintage racing vehicles, and custom military hardware that would showcase Gas Monkey Garage's capabilities to new audiences. These builds served multiple purposes, demonstrating technical expertise, creating compelling content, and attracting high-end clients who valued both quality and authenticity. The global expansion of Gas Monkey merchandise and licensing deals promised to spread the brand internationally while maintaining its Texas roots and American automotive culture identity. Rawlings had learned to scale his personality and values across multiple platforms without diluting the authentic connection that made him famous. Richard Rawlings proved that walking away from millions in television money to build complete creative freedom was more than just a career move. It was a masterclass in long-term thinking and personal authenticity. By 2025, his diversified business empire generated more revenue and reached larger audiences than Fast and Loud ever could have achieved alone. His journey from a Dallas garage owner to multimedia mogul demonstrated that success in the modern economy required adaptability, authentic audience relationships, and the courage to bet on yourself when conventional wisdom suggested staying safe. The man who once felt trapped by a $25,000 fine clause had built something no network contract could contain. The Gas Monkey brand became bigger than any single person or television show, representing a lifestyle and set of values that resonated with automotive enthusiasts worldwide. Yet Rawlings remained personally connected to every aspect of the business, maintaining the hands-on leadership style that had made him famous while scaling operations to unprecedented levels. As the automotive industry continued evolving toward electric vehicles and automated manufacturing, Rawlings positioned himself as a champion of traditional American car culture while embracing new technologies and platforms. The king of cars didn't abandon his throne. He built a bigger kingdom that no network executive could ever control.